Thanks for checking out this video. So let's get into it. What is coming to Shudder for March 2024? Going to go over the Shudder exclusive and originals first. For people who are not familiar with my channel, I always put out no spoiler reviews days before those films actually hit Shudder. They have been hitting on a Friday, and I've been putting out the reviews that Monday, just so people can get an idea of maybe if it's a film they want to check out or not. So I know some people find it helpful, others may not, but it's there for you. You can always check my channel. Anyway, the first one of their exclusives is Satanic Hispanics, which I know is an anthology film, and it's one that I've been meaning to see in review, so it's good that I'm going to get that opportunity. This one's coming March 8th. The horror anthology assembles a murderer's row of talent. Mike Mendez, who did Big Ass Spider, Alejandro Burgues, who did Juan of the Dead, Gigi Saul Guerrero, who did Culture Shock, Eduardo Sanchez from the Blair Witch Project, and Demian Rugna, who did When Evil Lurks and Terrified, unite in the first all-Latino horror anthology. Sounds interesting. Heard middling things about it, but here's the thing. You're probably going to get some of the segments that hit, some that don't really hit, so there's going to be something worth seeing most likely. So anyway, that's that. The only other Shudder exclusive or original that they have is called You'll Never Find Me. It's coming March 22nd. Synopsis is, an isolated man living at the back of a desolate caravan park is visited by a desperate young woman seeking shelter from a violent storm. As the savage storm worsens, these solitary souls begin to feel threatened, but who should really be afraid? That doesn't really grab me, but again, I'm going to end up watching it anyway, doing a no spoiler review, so you can check my channel and find out about it. Then we are going to be getting a Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs special. Not one that I'm excited about. It's going to be for an episode of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Listen, I really love Joe Bob. I love his content, but they rush him on these Walking Dead episodes that he does. Plus, I hate The Walking Dead. I think it's so overdone. I think all the shows that I've watched, except for like season 1 that I ended up seeing in the very beginning, they're not only overdone, they're very boring. They're so drawn out and so boring. So I don't even know if I'm going to watch this. But if you do want to watch the Joe Bob Briggs Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, that's going to be live on March 1st. It doesn't say a time for it. I assume it'll probably be 9 o'clock like usual, Eastern time. And then streaming on March 3rd on Shudder. So just so people are aware of that. I'll read the synopsis if people are interested. Joe Bob dives deep into the epic love story of two people changed by a changed world in The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Oh my god. Two people changed by a changed world. Come on. Some of this writing, not the best. Alright, so all the other films that are coming to Shudder, the next many, they're dropping a lot on March 1st. So here's what's coming March 1st. At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul. A gravedigger prowls the city in search of a female to bear him a son. I don't know. Never seen it. Probably a pass on it. The Strange World of Coffin Joe. I'm interested in this one because I've never seen a Coffin Joe film, and I've always been, had a little bit of an interest in it, so I want to find out a little bit about him. 3 episodes. A doll maker whose dolls are eerily human, a tale of necrophilia, and a doctor proves love is dead. Sounds interesting. Definitely want to check that one out. The next one is This Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. That's a pretty good title. After the events of the previous film, Coffin Joe continues to seek a maiden to give him a son. With the help of servant Bruno, he kidnaps 6 girls from a village. Which one of them will pass his trials of fear? Okay, so that's also a Coffin Joe. Nice. I'll probably have to check that out too. Next one is Dream Demon. A young woman about to be married begins having terrifying dreams about demons. When she awakes, however, the demons are real and begin to commit gruesome murders. That sounds fun. The next one is one that a lot of people love, The Strangers. A young couple staying in an isolated vacation home are terrorized by 3 unknown assailants. Now, if you like The Strangers, when The Strangers hits Shudder, they will still have ILS, ILS, known as Them. It's the French film that was the basis for Strangers, which I think Them is better than The Strangers. But you can watch both of them, make up your own mind, if you're interested. Next one is called Ghost Watch. In a live broadcast on Halloween night, a BBC team investigated reported poltergeist in an ordinary London home. Not my thing, probably skip on that one. Give Me Pity. Sissy St. Clair graces the small screen for her first ever television special, an evening full of music, laughter, glamour, and entertainment. But Sissy's live event quickly begins to curdle into a psychedelic nightmare. You got me on Psychedelic Nightmare. I do like a nice psychedelic nightmare from time to time, so I might want to check it out. The next one I highly recommend if you like horror comedies. This one is called Grabbers. When an island off the coast of Ireland is invaded by blood-sucking aliens, the heroes discover that getting drunk is the only way to survive. You can only imagine where the comedy goes with there. It is a good time. It is well written. There are really legitimate good laughs to be had with that film. I really like Grabbers. Check that out. And then the next one, the last one coming on March 1st, is another one I'm going to highly recommend. This is a very underwatched Giallo-esque film. It's not Giallo, but it's Giallo-esque. So if you like Giallo and Giallo-like films, you should definitely watch it. Alice, Sweet Alice. In 1961, a divorced Catholic couple's life is turned upside down when one of their two adolescent daughters is suspected of her younger sister's brutal murder during her first Holy Communion and a series of subsequent stabbings. It's written kind of weird, but okay. It's a good film. Check it out. And a lot of people have not seen it, and they should. The next 3 films are coming March 4th, and these are all films that have already been on Shudder, so if you didn't see them when they were originally on, make sure you check them out now because, well, the second one I haven't seen. I might have to check that out, but the other 2 I like quite a bit. The first one is Day of the Beast. Bent on committing as many sins as possible to avert the birth of the beast, a Catholic priest teams up with a black metal aficionado and an Italian connoisseur of the occult. Now he must become an unrelenting sinner. Is there still hope? That's a really good film. Pretty intense at times. Has a bit of comedic aspect to it. It's really good. I believe it's a Spanish film? I think it's a Spanish film. The next one is Perdita Durango. A psychotic criminal couple kidnaps a random teenage couple. The woman rapes the male captive and lets him watch his lover being raped by the man. Then they plan to sacrifice the couple. I didn't see it before, might not see it. It didn't really appeal to me with what it looked like. And then the last one for that day, which I do highly recommend if you have not seen it, Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. I'm sure a lot of people saw it when it was on the last drive-in. I've watched it a few times. It's a very good film. An orphan teenager finds himself being dominated by his aunt, who's hell-bent on keeping him with her at all costs. Da-da-da. So the next 3 films are coming March 11th. The first one is First Contact. 2 estranged siblings go to their late scientist father's farmhouse to make sense of his incomplete work. They soon discover an evil entity buried in time and space for millions of years has been released and begun wreaking havoc. They soon discover an evil has been... Okay, got it. Sounded weird to me. This is the way I read it. But yeah, that one sounds kind of interesting. If people have seen it, let me know how it is. And then the next 2 films for the 11th, I'm very interested in. These were just released, I believe, in 4K by Severin Films. And I haven't seen these films before, and I've wanted to, so Shudder's going to hook it up. Both of them are Michele Soavi films. The Church is the first one. An old Gothic cathedral built over a mass grave develops strange powers that trap a number of people inside, with ghosts from a 12th century massacre seeking to resurrect an ancient demon from the bowels of the earth. I saw a trailer for it. Looks pretty interesting. Plus, I have liked the work of Michele Soavi, and for people who don't know, Shudder at the moment has Cemetery Man, also by Michele Soavi, which is a pretty wild movie. Looks amazing, too. Definitely watch it. And then the other one coming on March 11th, done by Soavi, is The Sect. A lonely kindergarten teacher discovers a secret well in the basement of her house. Secret well, not secret well in the basement. Secret well in the basement of her house, and soon finds herself being followed by a murderous satanic cult. Again, I watched the trailer for that. It looked quite interesting. You want to check it out. And then the last film is coming March 18th, and it is not horror, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who would be interested in it. I have seen it. It is a good film. It's Southern Comfort. During a routine exercise, a team of National Guards are threatened by angry and violent locals. Although this says violent locals. Not true. Violent locals. Yeah, it's like in the swamps of Louisiana. Uh, Good film, really good film. If it means anything to anyone, it's a Walter Hill film. It is on Tubi as well at the moment. I think I watched it on Tubi just a few weeks ago, so I think it might still be on Tubi at the moment. But the version is probably going to look a lot better on Shudder because it just got a Vinegar Syndrome release. So I'm assuming that's what they're using. So it'll look a lot better than it would on Tubi. Tubi's version didn't look the best, but it is a good film. Check it out. It's basically a war movie. I question why it's on Shudder. It's not horror, but it is still a good film. I think a lot of people will be interested in it. Anyway, this is where I want to know, what are you excited for March? Go ahead and put it in the comments. Also, films that are coming in March that you want to let me know, hey, definitely try and check this out. It's totally worth it. Or ones where you're like, don't bother, don't waste your time on this. It's not great. So go ahead and put it down there. And then if you just want to talk horror, we can do that too. Do me a favor. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. That's your best way to repay me for the free content. Thumbs up on the video, another good way to repay me, help me with that YouTube algorithm. And then also you can hit the notification bell button. Then you'll know when I'm putting up new videos. And if you help me out by watching the videos not long after they've gone up, that'll help with the YouTube algorithm as well. Can kind of get the ball rolling, if you will. But regardless, I do appreciate any time you take watching any of my videos, including this one. So thank you so much. And until next time, keep it brutal.